our charts. Morning, Amin. Man, there is sometimes I wish that I would just stay up late during London session, just to catch this setup right here because the bias the bias is long. Good morning. The bias was long. We come in, we sweep that Asia low, and we pump all the way to that hourly imbalance. That's something I would be looking for, but I don't stay up at that time. I can't really manage my trade, so I don't really look to take those entries. Hey, what up? ¿Qué pasa? All right, so oops. We got Asia high up here at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. Hey, let's go. Yeah, I mean those shorts finally came in. Man, if we would have been able to we held our original entry, I think it was like 1,000 ticks or something like that. So the analysis was solid. I'm glad you're able to hold that, Shonsky. That's nice. So 11:30 p.m. we got that Asia high. Asia high. We swept it, come down, sweep Asia low. That was at 8:30 p.m. And then look at that pump after. Last night or at post market yesterday, we had Costco earnings. They had amazing earnings, which um, is another reason I was long biased. Was seeing Costco have amazing earnings as well as this weekly time frame. Look at this weekly chart, guys. Look how we traded into this imbalance. Remember that weekly low was our target. That was our weekly sell side target I talked about. Look how we trade exactly to the consequent encroachment of that weekly fair value gap and bounce. That's perfect. That's that exact consequent encroachment. This is what I always talk about. That equilibrium of that fair value gap, and we see that bounce. Okay, so another reason I was thinking longs over the night last night, but again, there was not really an entry to take until London session. I was not up during London session. Okay, we also had this daily bullish imbalance here. We can see that we have traded down into it. Is Trader Joe live? Trader Joe is live. Trader Joe is live. So we bounce here off this daily bullish imbalance. And now I want to see if these longs are going to continue and try to step in and go up to fill this volume imbalance above. Got that volume imbalance. We did have some negative news come out this morning, which is one thing that I'm worried about. We had our core PCE price index come out at 0.2%, and it was projected at 0.3. We also had personal spending month over month come out at 0.2, and the projection was 0.3. We also have Chicago PMI coming out at 945. So we'll see how that news impacts us. Okay, we'll see if we want to end up coming back up. I would like to see the longs continue to step in today. Again, let's go back up. Let's go to a 4-hour here. Okay, we can see this 4-hour imbalance. We traded below this one here. We also have this 4-hour imbalance below that we have gotten close to tapping into. So the 4-hour right now, 4-hour looks a little bit bearish. We can see that we touched off this 4-hour bearish order block up top. Let's look at the 1-hour. 1-hour, we can see we respected this 1-hour SIBI as well as this 1-hour bearish order block. So we do look kind of bearish right now on the 1-hour. Go down to a 30-minute. Same thing here. We touched into the 30-minute imbalance, 30-minute order block, and we have been trading back down. So we're looking pretty bearish on that time frame as well. And obviously the 15-minute looks pretty bearish here. I do want to see if this is going to be a fake out at market open that's eventually going to take us higher. But again, right now we are dropping pretty aggressively. Okay, so let's look for our London high, London low. We can see down here we had our London low. Oh no, that was not our London low, sorry. It was over here at 3:30 a.m. At 3:30 a.m. Eastern. And look how we traded below our London low already. Swept the London, swept the Asia low, and then pumped up for our London and Asia high, which London high was up here at 4:30. So we came down, we swept Asia low, London low. And then we came up and displaced Asia high, London high, and we came up all the way to that target, that 1 hour imbalance above. So I still do want to see if longs are going to be prominent today. I want to see if the longs want to step in. That's kind of where my head's at right now. Again, we got a very aggressive drop at market open just now, so we got to be careful here. We also have that news coming out in 10 minutes, so we need to be aware of that. Okay, we can see us bouncing off an hourly imbalance on our bearish order block up top. So I do expect longs today, but we got to see clear break of structure to the upside. Yes, I can share my charts. I'm going to delete that one. Let me get rid of this one here. Let me share my charts here. Because that's kind of what I'm looking at. We can see the same thing over here on ES. We had this low down here that we ended up sweeping our Asia low and our London low, which our London low was down here at 330 as well. Same thing, we swept it, come back up, take out London high. At 4:30 a.m., take out Asia high. Right, we pump all the way up into an hourly imbalance up here. We respect the hourly imbalance, but I do want to see these longs still step in. That's what I'm expecting to happen. Look at those longs stepping back in here. Let's see if we can really start to form some bullish structure after dropping so aggressively down to VWAP. And I would like that to be just a Judas swing down here, just a fake out move down to the lows, retesting that London high area, retesting that VWAP area, take us higher. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see us try to pump for that, 1 minute level up here, 1 minute level up here, pump for these highs. Let's look for our external liquidity levels. If price is going to be long, what are we targeting? Well, like I said, that volume imbalance up here. We've got that nice high up top inside of that volume imbalance. So if we were going to pump, that would be that level that I would be looking for us to go target. This big old imbalance, the high up there on the 4 hour. We can also look at, we've already taken yesterday's low, so we have to be careful about that. But if we were going to really get an expansion day today, I would expect us to also try to target yesterday's high, target these highs. We're gonna see if that is what the market wants to do. There's a few reasons I like the longs, guys. It's because of these higher time frame imbalances below that we bounced off of, bouncing off the weekly 50% of that fair value gap, bouncing off this daily fair value gap. Having a big company like Costco have such good earnings, right, which we would expect to try to drive us up a little bit. So that's what I'm thinking. So now it's just about trying to see if we can get a nice break of structure to the upside. Find a good level that we can start to get involved. Again, we do have that news coming out in about 6 minutes, so we might want to wait for that news to come out before we get into anything. Just be a little bit patient. You don't have to rush into anything. Don't have to rush into any trades. Okay, no need to rush here. Also, another thing, guys, today I'm probably going to scale down a little bit. We might see a little bit of crazy price action, so I'm going to scale down. Just like I talked about yesterday, I'm not going to trade as heavy. It's already a Friday anyways, which Fridays can be a little bit hectic. We have this news coming out, right? The whole week has been pretty crazy price action, so a day like today is one of those days that I'm going to scale down in my positions, trade a little bit lighter than I typically do. All right, so we're starting to get that pump now. Starting to get that pump. Longs are starting to look pretty good. And we're going to start looking for those levels, right? I know we have news coming out in 5 minutes, so we're probably going to still wait. but I do want to start charting out these levels so that we can see how price is respecting our levels on a bullish trend. Got that 1 minute order block here. We trade into a 1 minute fair value gap. We pump, we displace the 1 minute order block, right? So the longs are starting to look really good. I'm not gonna force anything, right? We have orange folder news, so it's not as high of an impact as red folder, but we'll still see somewhat of an impact on our market. So we just got to be very cautious about that. Let's look here at the 5. How did that 5 minute candle close? Previous 5 minute candle closed very nice. We do have that imbalance above here. We can see us reacting off of it right now. I like this 15 minute though. I love that we traded into the 15 minute imbalance. We bounced off VWAP. We're going to have to see a lot of confirmation though for these longs to step in. Okay, we got to continue to respect these bullish support levels. Okay, and then we got to find what would price be targeting, which would be the highs, right? We'd be targeting these highs up here. We'd be targeting these highs up here. These are our internal liquidity levels, internal buy-side liquidity levels. Okay, what other highs would we be targeting if the longs were going to step in? These highs up here. Okay, so there's a lot of buy-side levels that price could be targeting. Again, we just have to see how that news comes out. How is that news going to impact us? Is it going to be negative? Is it going to be positive? Then from there, we can react. So far, I'm liking this bullish move. I'm liking that we're starting to try to form some bullish structure. Like I said, my bias is still long. Bias is still long, right? And let's say we did drop really aggressively. Let's say our bias started to change to the shorts. We want it to come down. Well, then what are we targeting? We're starting to target these lows again, right? So we're targeting that low that we formed down here at this wick. Is a trader profitable without ICT? Yeah, there's plenty of traders out there that are profitable without ICT. Guys, the way I see it is you just have to find a strategy that fits your style. Yeah, like Danny, exactly. You got to find a strategy that fits your style. And there's plenty of strategies out there that are going to work, right? And they've been tested by many people. But some strategies just don't click. Some just don't make sense to me. And some don't make sense to others. ICT is that strategy for me that when I learned it, it clicked right away. And I started to really see, I started to see the market in a different way than I had ever seen the market before. Things just started to make sense. Okay, and the funny thing is people always, talk bad about other strategies when basically they're all the same thing. It's support and resistance, it's supply and demand, and ICT is basically just a deeper sense of supply and demand and support and resistance. It's just finding those better entry models. But order blocks, that's a supply and demand concept. It's support and resistance, right? So it's funny to me when people talk bad about other strategies when basically they're all using the same types of concepts, but I think ICT is the one that breaks it down the best and offers the best entry models and the best understanding of the market as a whole. I think that it just offers more insight into the market and just better, like I said, better entries. But again, yeah, it's you can find profitability with plenty of different strategies. But I found that ICT is the one that really clicked with me and it's the one that I found the most success with. All right, so that news is about to come out. See what we do here. See how what that news is released as. All right, missed the mark. Pretty red here. Projection 41.1 and the actual number 35.4. Might see the market go down a little bit. So a negative PMI basically is not a good thing. A negative PMI is not a good thing. So we might see a dump in the market here, as we're seeing right now. That's a pretty strong bearish candle there. See, we're sitting right above VWAP. See how the market wants to react. Again, my overall bias today is still bullish. Still bullish, but we've got to be aware of this news coming out, how it's going to affect this market. So basically, guys, that PMI, when it's under 50, it's basically saying that the market is contracting, or that our manufacturing and that kind of stuff is contracting, which is not a good thing for the U.S. economy. We want to see that be above 50. So we're obviously seeing that drop right now. So it makes sense that because it was so low, we're going to see a negative reaction in the market. Okay, so now I'm starting to think shorts after that news. Okay, we just displaced on the 1 minute. Let's see if there's going to be an entry opportunity for us to try to catch these shorts. All right, we got to look at what our risk management looks like. Right, let's say we got an entry here. Can we keep a stop? We can keep a stop above that fair value gap. What are we targeting, right? We just got to be careful because we still want to see displacement on our 5 and our 15-minute candles. Okay, because even when we have negative news come out in the market, sometimes we're just going to see a manipulation fake out move, and it doesn't actually mean that the market's going to drop for the day. It's kind of a battle between our fundamental analysis and our technical analysis. Okay, because we have these technical analysis levels that are telling me price probably wants to drive higher, right? And we can see that here. We just disrespected that 1 minute there. We still have that barely that small little 1 minute gap above. So we displaced on the 1 minute, but we're seeing that we're not displacing on the 5 minute just yet. We've got about 1 minute and 40 seconds left on it. So to me, it looks like that was just that fake out move. Right now, we'll see if we get any kind of continuation of the downside. Again, my bias is still bullish on the day, especially if we see price really start to pump from here. So right now I'm being a little bit more. Yeah, we did just fill that gap. Right now I'm being a little bit more reactionary, just kind of seeing how these candles are going to close. Right, don't want to. If today's going to be ranging price action, I don't want to be involved in that ranging price action unless we see like very clear seek and destroy where we can actually catch those reversal moves after grabbing liquidity. We disrespect that 1 minute bearish fair value gap there. We don't displace on the 2 minute. We're getting another bounce off VWAP. See how this 5 minute candle closes. It closes with displacement down below these lows, or if we're going to respect the lows and start to come back up. This 15-minute will be key as well to see, does this 15-minute displace the 15-minute bullish fair value gap? Does it displace this possible order block here? Or are we going to trade right back up? Okay, so 5 minutes about to close. It's going to close above VWAP. It still did not close beneath these lows. So no setups that I'm willing to take right now. Just really waiting for some confirmation. Like if we continue to trade down and create lower lows, displace this, right? That's when I'm starting to look for shorts. Then to me, that looks like we're still targeting sell side liquidity, like down here. So to me right now, it's really about playing the waiting game. Just being patient. So far, no setups that I've wanted to take. Nothing clear that I've seen. The hourly candle is very bearish here. 4-hour candle is really coming down after filling that imbalance above. Two-hour. Look at that 2-hour. I never look at the 2-hour time frame. So let's see if we do want to displace these lows, form a fair value gap above here. We still have not displaced the low down here. And nope. Still have it on the 1 minute. So this could be a short entry off this 1 minute fair value gap. The issue with that is that we didn't displace this low yet. We have not displaced this low, but we are looking pretty bearish right now after displacing these lows. But I'm not looking to take this entry just yet. It's just not enough evidence right now for me to want to jump into anything. If you wanted to be aggressive and you really had that conviction in the shorts, this would be an entry that you could take. But personally, for me, that's not an entry that I want to take right now. Really want to have an A+ setup today. It's a Friday. We're going to see probably some crazy price action, like I said earlier. So I really, really, really want to wait for a very solid setup. Okay, that was a strong displacement candle there on the 1 minute. Looks like we're really going to start dropping here. All right, so this is when I start thinking about a short entry. After seeing that strong 1 minute displacement candle, full body, displacing this 1 minute order block, fair value gap above the 1 minute order block. $15 and 5 minute look very bearish here. Closing, we're going way below VWAP now. Our structure looks very bearish. We have a sell side target. So this is when I start to think about the shorts. All right, let's say we wanted to test that 1 minute fair value gap. All right, keep a stop above. What are we targeting? Well, our full sell side target is all the way down here. A pretty big move. Okay, we have this 1 minute fair value gap here. This could be an entry here. That could be an entry there. I haven't taken anything yet. I'm starting to think about the shorts here now. I get half a lot entry here in the shorts, guys. I'm going to test it out, just half a lot. Remember, I'm trading pretty light today. Trading pretty light. So I'm willing to give this one, just test it out off that 1 minute after seeing such strong displacement to the downside. 18,547.50. Remember, this is still a little bit aggressive here. Oh, I got filled pretty low there. 55 tick stop above that fair value gap. 18,56125 is my stop. Yeah, it's a pretty good reaction so far off that 1 minute. Again, we got to be careful of retracement here. We just closed on the 5 minute, and that's a pretty strong 5 minute close right there. All right, so where are we looking to take profit? All right, I'm still on only half a lot. I've not added into a full. We don't have a lot of solid take profit levels here until, you know, we get down to that low. There's a few lows here we could look to target. That one. So let's see. Yeah, we're getting a nice drop now. That's a very nice drop. I still haven't added into a full. Okay, I'm kind of just holding my position. I mean, we just hit 74 ticks on that so far. That was a pretty quick drop. Like I said, guys, we're going to be pretty volatile today. So what we could do, I don't want to move my stop to break even just yet. But I do want to start looking to add into a full. And I don't like that 5 minute. It looks like we're forming a fair value gap here on the 5 minute. We have this 5 minute fair value gap down here that we saw that bounce off of before. So we got to be careful. We see that bounce off that 5 minute just now. Got to be careful here. And I still haven't had a level that I've wanted to add into a full just yet. All right, but if you wanted, you could have taken profit if you did add into a full. I mean, we just hit over 70 ticks. All right, and if we're gonna pump aggressively, I'll probably just get out and look for a re-entry. Right now, I don't like that structure. So, I mean, I'll still hold it for now. I'll let you know if I'm gonna continue to hold it. I might look to add into a full here. All right, I just added into a full. I want to see that drop. We'll see. I'm going to look to sell quick if we cannot really drop here. If we start to pump at all, you're just going to see me kind of scale out of this position and look for a re-entry. All right, so I'll probably cut it early if we start to pump here too much. Yeah, I'm not liking that pump so far. There, so we're testing that 1 minute fair value gap again. I just don't like that we're getting that reversal pattern or that move like that. I just got out. I'm just gonna get out there because look at that 5 minute. I don't like that 5 minute pattern. I don't like that we bounced like that. So I'll start looking for another entry. Let's see if we can bounce off that, get a nice bounce off the 1 minute. Again, that could have been a winning trade for you if you did sell down here. I didn't have time to move my stop or to take, I didn't add into a full, so I didn't take any profit. And I'm starting to think about adding back in. Started to think about adding back in here off that bounce off the 1 minute there. The one thing I don't like about this is that 5 minute candle. I don't like that 5 minute candle. That is a nice bounce so far though. So I'm still thinking about adding in. I have not added in just yet. This is my one thing, is maybe waiting for this 5 minute candle to close here. Got a little fair value gap above that we might want to go tap into. And not much of a fair value gap, but there's still something there. Yeah, we're really gonna have to push down through this 5 minute here. We'll see. I'm still not liking the structure. Nice 5 minute close. This could be a good add here. We just kind of ran away pretty quick. Didn't get the add. That was a nice close on the 5 minute though, so if you wanted to add, you could. It was a little too late for me to add back into my position there. Honestly, could have just held my position this whole way through. I just didn't like that pump back up on the 5. But I don't know if you're still holding this, it looks pretty good still. In hindsight, should have held that position all the way through. It was a nice 15-minute close. Okay, so I don't know if anybody's still holding that original entry or if anybody got a re-entry. I didn't get to get that re-entry. I wish I did. We just hit that first level, or hit that London low. Could be a good first TP. All right, 140 ticks, pretty nice. So let's see what kind of retracement we get here. Again, I wanted to get that reentry here. At the point I was really getting that confirmation though. It was a little too late. Would have been pretty low entry. So obviously I wish I would have held that original trade and not gotten out early, but trying to manage my risk on that one. That's a pretty nice drop though. Getting left behind here. So we just bounced off our Asia low. Let's see if we create a nice little fair value gap here. Could look for a different entry up here. Still look to catch it for over 150 ticks. Just touching to that fair value gap. Touching to that fair value gap. We might just keep running, guys. We might not even retest that right there. We might not even retest. Let's see. We'll see what we do here. Maybe we want to test that 1 minute. I would like to get an entry off that 1 minute. We can still catch, how many ticks here? 160 ticks. 160 ticks. So there's still a good reward on this trade. That's why I'm still willing to take the shorts. We do still have that target. Well, no, I didn't get that re-entry. We didn't tap into that fair value gap, so I didn't get an entry down here. But we look like we just want to keep dropping, so again, I'm not going to chase all the way down here. I'd wait for retracement, wait for a good level for me to want to get in. Okay, so now we're testing it. I'm gonna enter in the shorts just half a lot and get an aggressive entry just so I have a better entry level here. 18.521. Oh wow, 2-1. Yeah, all my fills have been pretty bad lately. Not the fill I wanted there. So I'll keep 55 ticks above the 0.5. I obviously wanted to have a little bit better of an entry, a little higher up, but that's, trying to be a little more aggressive here. 18.53525. Just half a lot here. Again, we're going to have to see a nice drop. Right, I'm willing to take the risk on this one. Right, it's just small. Let's say we do get stopped out. Say I get stopped out. It's just another small loss that I'm willing to take those small losses to catch a big reward. Okay, because if you can continue to take, if you take losses, as long as you keep them small and minimal, you can finally catch that breakout trade, that nice reward. You're going to make up for all those losses and more. Sometimes I like to get a little bit more of an aggressive entry like this one, and I get stopped, and that's the reality of it. Now we're seeing that 5-minute crazy wick back up here. Crazy wick back up. So, that's an aggressive entry I'm willing to take to try to catch that move all the way down to the lows. Like I said, that 5-minute closed without any displacement. Pretty crazy 5-minute close there. See how we react off this 1 minute. I still will look for a short entry. It's a nice reaction off that 50% level there on the 1 minute. I'm going to get one more short entry here. Half a lot here. It's a better entry for us. Keep our stop above that fair value gap. I'm liking the reaction off that 50% level. 2750 is my entry. Deepest stop above the highs, 18.54125. See if we can get that drop all the way down to that level that we're looking for here. Down 170 ticks. Okay, we'll see if price wants to continue to drop here. I still want to see that level taken out. And if we don't drop here, if we don't get that final drop here, I think we will start trying to take out some buy side liquidity. Yeah, we're not seeing that drop. This is a little aggressive. Yeah, so entries, man, not the best here. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can still respect this fair value gap. Still try to come back down. Just got to get my entries a little more dialed in here. Initial entry was good and just didn't get that re-entry that I wanted. All right, but we have that 2-minute imbalance. We had a nice drop from 1-minute imbalance, respecting that 50% level. We still have that sell side target I wanted to see us take out. But right now we're stalling a little too much. Doesn't look like we want to go take that level out. So still on half a lot there. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take those losses. But now it's looking like we're trying to go target some buy side. Let's see what we do here at this point. See if we're trying to go target that buy side. If we do disrespect this 1-minute imbalance, 2-minute imbalance. Yeah, so guys, I mean, I wanted to get that entry. I wanted to have that better entry. Just didn't get that re-entry that I wanted. And then just got kind of chopped up there. Not chopped up, but just didn't get those re-entries. Again, still didn't add into a full, so I still got a lot of room to trade. So we disrespect that 1 minute. Okay, 15-minute is starting to look pretty bullish. Right, but when we have that sell side target that we have not taken out all the way down here, and we're very aggressive to the downside, we have that negative news come out. You know, that's why I still wanted to see those shorts come in. Just haven't been able to dial in those entries this week like I would want. You know, it can be frustrating sometimes. Just, you know, when you see those entries, you see the market moving the way you want it to, and then you just can't dial them in. Yeah, it's a little frustrating, but again, I'm not gonna be upset as long as my risk management is there. Everything's gonna be all right. Okay, so let's see if we want us to continue to trend up. Maybe break structure to the upside, or if this is just a little bit of a retracement move that we're gonna end up heading back down from. We did get a bounce from that 5-minute here, as I talked about. All right, we did get that bounce right off that level. All right, 5-minute just closed. Not the strongest 5-minute, not the strongest bullish candle there. Like I said, we're just retracing a little bit. But there's still, I would not have entered in the shorts up at this point still, guys. Like, but it's still looking to take out that low. But it's just looking for those good entries. So far, we're not really respecting that 1 minute. We didn't respect that 1 minute fair value gap. We're trading back into that 5-minute here. See what kind of reaction we get. All right, we've seen that bounce 3 times off on the 5-minute time frame. We've tested it a lot. It looks like we're really trying to push through now. But again, if we get left behind and there's no entry, I won't take an entry. All right, so this 1 minute, we'll see if this 1 minute fair value gap gets respected again. I would have to wait. If we trade into it, I have to wait for a strong reaction off of it. I'm not just going to get in off the entry of that fair value gap, because I've done that. I did that last time and we saw us just push right through that level. All right, we're still seeing that reaction off the 5-minute imbalance. And so it still looks like we want to head down for those lows. Let's see if we want to, if there's going to be an entry opportunity for us. Remember, I need to see a nice reaction off this 1 minute if I'm going to get an entry off another 1 minute fair value gap. All right, so we got this low down here. We got that low down here. If it runs away, it runs away. Still no entries that I want to take right now unless we can trade back up and we're just kind of running away from us, so might not get that entry. And this is the hard part, guys. We disrespect our imbalances and then we still end up dropping. So it's just not, the entry I wanted was there and we're seeing the move that I wanted to see happen, but price isn't giving us a good opportunity to, for me at least, I haven't gotten a good entry to get involved. But you can see we're targeting that low now. That if that first TP got taken out, that would have been my first TP right here at that low. And that full TP would have been this low down here. Again, I'm not going to get an entry down here on this move. The 15-minute candle is about to close. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to have FOMO here. If it plays out, it plays out. At least we know we had the right idea. Obviously, wish I could have gotten a better entry, but yeah, that's been kind of the theme for me that this week has been pretty tough for me. I've not been getting the entries that I typically do get. It's just something that I, have to have to live with and have to just get better from. So we did finally take out that target. I don't know if anybody was still holding that original entry we had. That'd be pretty nice. All right, 15-minute closed. Didn't displace, but that's a pretty strong move down. It's a pretty strong move down. Doesn't look like we want to come back up. See what sell side liquidity levels we have. Imbalance here on the hourly. Looks like we want to keep heading down here, but again, we just took out that strong liquidity level, so we got to be careful at this point. That's why this was my full TP here. right? That's the full TP I wanted to take. Now we'll see if we're going to get a reversal move, rebalance some of this market after taking a key liquidity level. ES hasn't taken out that low yet, so we do have that divergence, but we might see ES still try to go for that low. Yeah, it took ES a little bit longer. I still think ES is going to go for that low. Again, don't necessarily want to jump into the shorts right after taking a key liquidity level. And not at the bottom. Yeah, we do have that gap above here. 15-minute order block above. So, I mean, the shorts look like they're still trying to drop. But I'm not going to look for a short entry at the low after taking a key liquidity level. Again, we look like we're still trying to drop. So if you did want to take a short entry and you wanted to continue to catch these shorts, you could catch it down to that hourly imbalance here, that hourly low down below. But again, swept this level. So now we got to be a little bit more careful. Yeah, so for me, it'd be a little bit more upsetting if I was getting bad entries and also my analysis was completely wrong. That would be a little bit more upsetting for me. I'm happier because, even though I am missing my entries, my analysis is still correct. So I'm happy about that. But I still want to dial in my entries. It obviously has been a tough week, but I need, I want to hold myself accountable. Definitely want to hold myself accountable. Yeah, we're starting to see that little bit of pullback. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So this 5 minute is about to close. We are leaving behind a 5 minute fair value gap, especially if we displace on this 5 minute. The shorts might just keep dropping. We might not even get a lot of retracement here. That's a strong 5 minute displacement there. I mean, we're just running away here. Again, if we do want to get that retracement move back into this 5 minute, we could still catch a nice short opportunity up here. All right, that's the good thing about trading lighter. Trading lighter and taking half a lot losses, still being able to trade even after taking a few losses instead of blowing an account. Hourly order block here as well. This hourly candle is a pretty strong bearish candle. See if we're gonna get some more retracement here. Again, we could just keep running, we could just keep dropping. But I'm not looking to get an entry all the way down here. I want to see some retracement if I'm gonna get an entry here. So we're not really showing a lot of signs of stopping right now. We might try to push all the way down to that hourly. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy drop here. Pretty crazy drop. It makes sense after seeing such negative news come out. I mean, they already projected PMI to be low, and then it was even lower than what they projected. So at this point, guys, I'm really just waiting for some kind of retracement. Yeah, I don't think we're going for yesterday's high anymore. I mean, we're really pushing into this weekly. Look at that. Look at how far we've pushed into that weekly imbalance. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy here. So now we have touched into that hourly. That was the hourly I was talking about, bullish fair value gap. This is the challenge I like to call try not to have FOMO challenge. Yeah, we gotta just, as upsetting as it can be, some of you might be pissed off at me. At the end of the day, it happens, and I'm not happy about it, but yeah, it's gonna be all good. It's gonna be all good. Crazy drop here though. Crazy drop. Filling that hourly. This has been this is not. I did not expect to see this kind of drop today. I don't think most people expected this. And this is insane. This is insane. Look at that hourly candle. That's absurd. Okay, we've got a 15-minute gap up here where that 5-minute is. Still haven't closed this 15-minute yet, but ooh. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I mean, that's always my hope is even when I don't get my entries dialed in, I hope that some of you get some better entries than me and we're able to hold this trade. So, I mean, hindsight's always 20/20. Obviously, looking back, I wish I didn't get out of my position, but what are you gonna do? You just got to learn from it. Just got to learn from it. It's just been one of those weeks for me, guys. It's been one of those weeks. And the worst thing I could do and the worst thing that anybody else could do is see this as a really negative thing to happen and then let that affect you and make you go on a tilt to where you start revenge trading the rest of the day, or you let it affect you going into next week. It's the worst thing that you could do. You just got to understand that weeks like this are going to happen. They're going to happen to the best of us. Where we're not even like I'm not even down that bad, guys. On the week, it's not. I mean, I'm red on the week, which is not what I want. But again, you don't. It's not like I'm over leveraging like crazy and taking these insane trades to where now I'm like, oh, I have to make this money back. I'm down 10K. Like I got to make this back. No, it's not. That's when you should really be rethinking trading, or are you really rethinking what you're doing. Okay, so what I do when I have a week like this is I take the positives out of, I think about the positives. Okay, my analysis was right every single day. So what did I do wrong? Well, I just didn't get my entries dialed in. Okay, so how do I work on that? Well, I can journal all of my entries that I've had and I can figure out what went wrong. And then I can learn from that and I can go into the next week realizing, okay, I made those mistakes. My entries weren't good. I got stopped out. But now next week it's a new week. So even if I end the week red, well, this will be my first red week I've had in probably 2 months. I think it's in about 2 months, right? So you gotta take the positives out of it, and you've got to learn from the negatives, but don't let that negative self-talk step in. Realize that this is just a bump in the road, and as long as you can manage that risk, you should be okay. That's why you don't see me freaking out. Like, it's not the end of the world. But if you're not managing your risk, it can be really bad. It can be. But it's not something you can't come back from. I mean, you're going to be okay, but you really got to do some learning. You're balanced to be able to trade with two minis. Well, it just depends on how much risk you want to put into the market a day. How much risk you want to put into the market a day. It's different for everybody. So two minis, right? $10 a tick. Depends how many ticks you're willing to risk, how much, because that could be $1,000 a day if you lose 100 ticks. Right, so if you're willing to risk $1,000, well, if you want to risk 1% a day, that's $100,000 account. So that's kind of hard. If you want to risk up to 5% a day, it can be a little bit better. You could have like a $50,000 account, right? But at the same time, it's really up to you. Well, if you want to have a $2,000 account and trade two minis, you could lose that account in 2 days or 3 days, so it's kind of hard to do. I mean, I always advise if you have an account under, 10, 10,000, probably want to keep it to micros. 5,000, probably want to keep it to micros. It just depends on how risky of a person you are. If you want to not focus on keeping really small risk, if you want to take crazy risk, you can do that, but I personally wouldn't recommend that. But we just keep dropping, guys. We just keep dropping. We're almost to that next liquidity level, and I still haven't really seen any entries that I've wanted to get back into. Well, that's always true. If you don't put risk into the market, you're not going to get reward. It doesn't mean you should be risking 50 or 100% of your account. um, I know you're joking. So we have that next liquidity level down here. This is just a crazy, crazy drop where we're not really getting too many opportunities to be able to get involved. So, I mean, I really hope that some of you guys were able to really hold on to this one. Yeah, 30-minute, crazy 30-minute displacement there. We do have a 30-minute bearish breaker now. 15-minute bearish breaker. High, low, higher, high. A 15-minute unicorn up here. With this breaker here. And then that fair value gap above. Overlapping. Right there. Right now we just keep running. We're not really getting a lot of opportunity to get involved. Taking out another key liquidity level here. So yeah, we just took out that low. See what we do after we take out that low. All right, man. Have a great rest of your day. Have a good weekend too. Always appreciate your input. Um, yeah, so we do have that. We have a daily fair value gap here that we're now touching into. I mean, there's not a lot that looks like we want to come back up at all right now. Everything looks like we just want to keep dropping, but we have to be aware that at any point we could see, especially after grabbing this external liquidity level, we could see us come back up. Yeah, 4 hour. 4 hour, we have that order block or yeah, demand zone right here. Imbalance below. We saw that bounce off of it before. So, we just kind of got to wait and see if we're going to get any kind of reaction. Right now, none of our support levels have been stopping us. There's literally been nothing that stopped us so far. And even looking at all this stuff here, there's not really anything I would have looked to take an entry off of here. We can see that all the 5-minute levels, we never came back and retested. We never came back and tested at all. We just kind of left everything behind. So even on the 1 minute, there wasn't really many entries I would have taken. Like I wouldn't have taken this entry. And even we displaced this order block and we still never tested that. So there's still never, we didn't touch up into fair value gaps. We didn't retest order blocks. There's still no entries I would have wanted to get in, especially hitting strong support levels like the hourly imbalance or taking out an hourly higher time frame liquidity level, that external liquidity. So ES has now taken out that low. We just keep running. I mean, that next liquidity level isn't all Intel 1816550. Now we are in that 4 hour imbalance, 4 hour order block. I mean, if we push through this one, that would be insane. We'll see if NQ is going to give us any chance to to get into any trades. All right, here's that 4 hour we were talking about. Already filled 100% of that 4 hour imbalance. So this is the hard part, guys. It's like you want to keep shorting this because we have such a strong bearish trend. But we've taken out external liquidity now. We're in a 4 hour bullish imbalance. We're not being offered any levels to short off of. Like, look at the 5 minute. There's nothing on the 5 minute that would have given me that opportunity to short. 15 minute, obviously, nothing. Go down to that 1 minute time frame. Not really anything to short from. Okay, so we see where we are stalling at the bottom of that 4 hour. It's a little bit. But the fact that we filled 100% of that 4 hour already is pretty crazy. I mean, ES still has sell side targets to take out. The NQ is already taken out. Yeah, this is our last live today. We're just running this one. But we'll be hanging out for a little bit. I'm in no rush to jump off or anything. Yes, back Monday. What I'm gonna start trying to do for you guys too is on Sundays, I'm gonna start trying to make a video of what I'm expecting in the market for that next week. Because I know we don't do anything on the weekends, and we don't do our charting until Monday morning. So I think if that's something you guys would want me to do, I can start making a video on Sunday of my expectations for the week, and then I can send that out to you guys. Okay, so we're seeing some stalling. Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah, I mean, those educational videos I've put out are pretty much, I did that top-down analysis video and I did that liquidity video. That's how I'm looking for what the market's going to do. Those videos really explain my mindset and when I'm looking at the market and how I figure out what the market's going to go do. Jeez, what eval is that? That's some profit, Fabio. Okay. Dang, so you almost passed all of them already. Isn't the goal on the 250 15K? All right, 5 minute imbalance above. Let's see if we want to go test it. Or if we're just going to keep running away and not give us anything. This is when it gets hard because at this support level, I'm starting to think, okay, this might have been the end. We might be a little overextended. This might be the end of that drop. We might get actual retracement now. But so far, we have not had any real retracement moves. Yeah, I mean, if we can inverse the 5 minute, we could see long step back in and maybe take us back up to that 15-minute breaker up here. We just got to see what kind of reaction we get off this 5 minute imbalance above. If we're even gonna go into that level. I mean, we might not even want to go into it. I mean, yeah, today's been a pretty wild day so far. I mean, we did expect today to be pretty crazy, but I did not expect this aggressive of a drop in the market. Coming into today, I definitely didn't expect this. That's why being open-minded is so important. Being able to adjust your plan is so important. Dang, so we're not even going to go test that 5 minute. We're just dropping again. Bouncing off the 2 minute imbalance. Alright, so at this point, that next real external liquidity level isn't all the way until down 18,165.50. Which is pretty far away. See if we get some displacement on this move. Especially on this 5. If we get another displacement on this 5 minute order block, I mean, we might just see us continue to drop here. So at this point, what I'm waiting for is, can we get some kind of displacement move? Again, where we displace the lows, we displace a 5 minute order block here. And then see if the shorts are going to really continue down to that next external liquidity level. All right, like, are we going to get a displacement and we touch back into that order block? The hard part is, where do we keep our stop? Right, if we're going to short from down here, we're not going to have the best stop loss. This 5 minute is about to close, 15 minutes about to close. Still didn't get displacement. We also got SMT here at the lows. Let's see if we want to form a reversal pattern here on the 1 minute. If we do form that reversal pattern, we might see the long step all the way back into that 15-minute breaker above. Okay, so we're starting to see those long step in. Let's see if we want to displace the highs up here. Nope, still showing weakness. Yeah, if we do reverse here, definitely. But it's going to take a lot to reverse at this point. Pretty strong bounce off that 5-minute order block. I'm just waiting to see if we can displace these lows here. We displace the lows. We form this 1-minute order block here. Could be another short opportunity here. I mean, but that target is so far away. All the way down here, that's like 780 ticks away. I don't know if we're going to go reach that during our AM session. Yes, we're testing that 1-minute order block here. See what happens if we do get a real reaction off of it, if this is just going to be fake out. I'm just kind of waiting to see. Yeah, we would need to see an aggressive move up for that reversal. Aggressive displacement candle. And all of our time frames still look so bearish right now. So until we can really displace the highs aggressively, that's when I would start thinking about taking the longs back up. Okay, we're starting to move now. So we've just been kind of chopping ever since we hit this 4-hour, the bottom of the 4-hour. A lot of chop. Don't want to get chopped up. We can see the manipulation happening right now, guys. Why you're not seeing me get any entries. A lot of up and down, a lot of chop. 5-minute just closed, still very bearish. 5-minute close with a lot of displacement here. Not a lot, but we close with displacement on the 5-minute. uh, yeah, Diego, we had our analysis on point. Called out those shorts. Few good entry opportunities, and I just did not get the entries dialed in. The first entry was great, and I cut it my losses early, and then we ended up dropping. We're still chopping. All right, we have this daily imbalance. All right, we're sitting around that equilibrium of the daily. The 5 minutes still is looking very bearish. We're bouncing off that 5-minute order block here. We've got displacement in the 5-minute. We're just chopping too much for me to get an entry right now. Right, which we can expect after seeing such a crazy drop in the market. It makes sense that we're doing some chopping, consolidating a little bit. Just waiting to make that next move. Well, while we're waiting, you guys got anything planned for this weekend? Anything fun you guys are doing? Any exciting plans? Ah, dang. Not the rain. Lake and river days. That sounds nice. Up in Oregon. And it's nothing like lakes and rivers in Oregon. Oh man. Just take some Advil and you gotta get through that camping trip. There we go. Sounds like a nice little weekend. Nice. B-Day party. Your own birthday party or someone else's? Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Let's practice Spanish. Okay, so I mean, guys, the 5 minute still looks very bearish here. These long wicks to the upside, bouncing off that 5-minute order block. But we are chopping too much for me to want to get any entries. Acción del precio es no bueno. Feliz cumpleaños, Tati. Are we going to get that reversal? An aggressive pump. If we can get an aggressive displacement move to the upside, we might see reversal. If it's not a very aggressive move, we might just see a power of 3. Again, this is the point where I'd want to see price bounce from. But we need to see an aggressive displacement. Very aggressive displacement. All right, if we look at a 15-minute, we can use our fib. Look where that 0.5 level is. Look how that 0.5 level lines up directly with our unicorn model. So if we're going to get that reversal, that's that target up there. Around VWAP, it's in that unicorn. Okay, so we're getting displacement now. Now I'm starting to think, okay, long's my step in. We got to really inverse these gaps though. Let's see if we form a fair value gap here. We're at the end of our silver bullet hour right now. We're at the end of it. Okay, this could be an entry off this 1 minute fair value gap here. Again, we didn't get too aggressive of displacement, but this might be that reversal time. Just got to be careful at this point because we have so many gaps above that we could bounce from. Okay, so if this is that reversal, we could be seeing us start respecting these little 1 minute fair value gaps. But again, when we have those gaps above and we're so bearish, we got to be careful. Very cautious. All right, this is one of those trades that we'd be trying to catch all the way up to that 15-minute. And we're getting closer to London close. Getting close to that reversal time. We are in those higher time frame bullish imbalances. Remember, so far today we have not been respecting any of our higher time frame support levels. Displacement on the 5-minute would be nice of that order block. We're seeing us respect that 5-minute fair value gap above. All right, so let's see what's going to happen here. Is this going to be an AMD move where we still continue to head down? Or a reversal move? I'm not going to rush into anything. I really need to see a lot of confirmation here. 5-minute failing to displace. Touch into that 5-minute fair value gap above. Placing this 1-minute fair value gap here. See if this is going to be AMD. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. All right, this would be that accumulation. This would be that manipulation. This would be that distribution move down, sweeping the lows. We do have that 15-minute gap above now. And we also need to be careful because after seeing such a strong move, expansion move on a Friday, we might see a lot of ranging. See how that hourly candle closed. very strong bearish hourly candle. Still respecting that bullish fair value gap on the 1 hour and on the 4 hour. Going to continue to be patient here. See what price wants to do, if price wants to drop or not. Looking like it's trying to really drop again. Create that power of 3 move. All right, that's when we would look for displacement, retracement, then look for the shorts again. Okay, so we're starting to try to displace here. For the bounce on the 5-minute candle. Pretty aggressive 5-minute bearish candle here. See what we do. We still have strong support down here, so really got to push through that if we're gonna see the shorts continue. Just waiting to see if we get displacement here. Okay, here's that displacement move coming into play now. We displace the lows. Now what I would be doing is looking for OTE entry. If this is going to be that low that we form. Now we're looking for price to come up, back up to that 0.62, 0.79, around the 0.5. Look for an actual level to short off of. Again, we still want to see displacement on the 5-minute as well. So not rushed. We still don't have any entry opportunities here just yet. We've got a 1-minute bearish breaker here. Lowest down close candle. Seeing us bounce off of that level. Still trying to be very careful. Okay, you could look for a short entry here. It's an aggressive entry, but you could still look to take that entry. Hard thing about this is where are we going to be taking profit? Some lows down here. Still don't have all the conviction in the world just yet. It's 5 minutes about to close and we're still not seeing displacement of this low. That is we did displace this order block though. Shorts might really step back in here. Just don't want to get an entry all the way down here and then price wants to retrace, grab that 1-minute fair value gap. All right, but if you want to be very aggressive and you really think those shorts are going to step in, you could look for an entry here. At this point, I want to be very careful. The first standard deviation is down here. So, I mean, like I said, that aggressive entry you could get. I'm not getting that aggressive entry. Starting to set up pretty good here, though. Starting to see that drop. And so I would be looking to hold down to that first standard deviation off the 1 minute breaker. Hold down to these lows down here. It's obviously really dropping here. I don't know if anybody got that aggressive entry. That's a very strong displacement there. It's like we're going to see a continued drop. Another level of entry here, depending on where that gap is. So, I mean, so far, if you got that entry from where I called it out, that's hit 73 ticks. So, I mean, so far, pretty good trade if you did take that entry. Looks like we're going to just continue to drop here. See what kind of retracement we want to get. So even if I'm not winning, I want you guys to win. All right, so it just depends if you wanted to take those aggressive entries, if you want to be more conservative. So right now I'm kind of just waiting to see. We're going to come back up and try to test a fair value gap above. Right now we look like we want to keep running, but I don't want to rush an entry down here. Chase down here, and then price ends up retracing right back to where we wanted to enter off of, like this. Yeah, there's that 1 minute. We're pushing right through it right now. Five minute did not close with displacement here. Going back up into that breaker. All right, we're back into that breaker. This is a pretty aggressive bullish move. Be very cautious. Remember that OTE entry would be up here. But we also are coming back into that breaker. If we start seeing a nice reaction off the breaker, I'll start looking for a re-entry, or I'll look for an entry here. That's a nice reaction there. Starting to think about getting an entry here off that 1 minute breaker. Yeah, I just got an entry in half a lot there off that reaction. Now we got to be careful at this point because that was a pretty strong retracement move. So I'm gonna be very careful about this entry. Okay, so I entered half a lot at 18,354.25. Keep a stop about 50 ticks up here in that breaker, 18,366.75. So just half a lot entry off that reaction off the breaker. Now you can look for a 1-to-1 at these lows. But if we really fail to get a strong move down, I'm just going to get out. But right now, so far that's a good reaction there. 5 minute looks really good. I'm still in half a lot. Let's say we can get strong displacement to the downside on the 1 minute. I would start to think about, if then we get a pullback move, I would start to think about adding into a full. Yeah, but I'm loving that reaction. 5 minute looks very strong, bouncing off that 5 minute order block. 1 minute bouncing off the breaker. So we've almost hit that 1-to-1. We've almost hit 50 ticks here. That's a 1-to-1 there. If you did add into a full, you could look to take TP here and just move that stop to break even. I'm only in half a lot here. I want to wait and see if we can get a displacement move and then find a good level to add into a full. We're going to see that continuation. I just want to see 5 minute displacement of the lows. I want to see 15 minute displacement of this order block. 1 minute displacement of these lows. Okay, so we have a 1 minute fair value gap here now. Above. Could be a good level to add into a full if we're going to bounce off of it. Only if we get a good bounce off of it, though. And if I can't add into a full, well then I'll end up, if we get another drop, I'll just move my stop to break even and try to hold it down to these lows. Okay, so we just touched into that 1 minute. I didn't even notice we tapped into it. But still not enough reaction yet. Still don't want to add into a full just because we're stalling so much here. Right, if you want to just move your stop to break even, you can make it a risk-free trade. You don't have to hold this one. Obviously, I would have wanted my entry to be a little bit higher. But I was just waiting for that reaction. So I don't like the stalling that we're doing, but we're still respecting that level. All right, I just added into a full there. I mean, this is going to be my last trade of the day either way. And I know that I can risk one full lot trade. I'm liking this setup. I like that reaction. So my entry is going to be pretty low here. But I like the reaction off that 1 minute. So entry moved all the way down to 5-1. I'm going to have to move my stop down a little farther than I would want. Give it at 55 ticks, 18,364.75. I'm not liking that price movement back up right now. I don't like how low my stop is. And I wanted to see a stronger reaction back down. The 15 minute, we still displaced that order block. So we might see us retrace a little bit into this order block, which puts my entry at kind of not the best spot. Hopefully we react off the bottom of this order block. We still got the displacement move. We still look very bearish. But again, we might see some kind of retracement. I wanted my stop to be a little bit higher, but for now it's okay. Okay, so now we're looking at a 1-to-1 being right here at 18,337.25. But I want to hold this one down. If we can really drop, I want to hold this one down. maybe to that first standard deviation off that breaker block. But again, you could look to take a first TP at a 1-to-1. I might end up taking a first TP if we do get an aggressive drop here. I'll probably just end up selling one and then moving my stop to break even. Just because of how much stalling we're doing, we're kind of chopping. I don't like the choppy price action here. I still like the structure and I like the setup. And I like that we're respecting all of our bearish levels. See if we can drop. All right, so this is one of those ones where I'll look to take TP kind of quicker. Like right here. I'm honestly just going to sell one here, guys. So I just sold one. I'm moving my stop to break even. My break even moved down pretty far there. Wow, that moved down very far. So now I'm pretty close to break even. 4775. That's just the top of this candle. I might get stopped out pretty quick. But again, made back some of those losses. That was just a quick scalp. We'll see if we get stopped out here. My stop is all the way down at 4775. Just because of where I added, it ended up moving my stop down pretty far. This trade still looks really good. I'm willing to hold this one either until I get stopped out or all the way down, possibly to the lows down here. Let's look at that daily that you're talking about. Yeah, we are at the bottom of the daily. So again, yeah, we definitely could bounce from this level. But with such an aggressive drop, I'm still willing to see if we'll go a little bit lower. But I might get stopped out here in just a second. Again, quick scalp. I'll take a win today. I mean, a win is a win for me today. Just, make back some of the losses. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Obviously, I wanted to see a little bit more follow through. But we're still respecting all these levels. We still look extremely bearish. As long as we can stay below our stop loss, continue, just get one more strong drop. Just one last drop, catch it down to the lows, get out, and then wait and see if we're gonna get that reversal at some point. And you could sell everything down here. I mean, we hit 64 ticks. I took my first TP around 60 ticks. Took first TP around 60 ticks. So I made some of my losses back. I'm happy about that. See if we're gonna stop me out, if we're gonna make that last drop. I mean, all of our structure is still bearish, so it's just the fact that our stop loss is so close. All right, if I could add my stop loss up here, that would have been ideal. If we could have had our entry all the way up here. See, this has been a very choppy trade so far. Just happy we were able to at least catch a little more than a 1-to-1. At least take some profit. It's not much, but it's something. I mean, I would just be happy to end the day on a win today. And we're getting closer to that London close. We might see a reversal. We could see a reversal at any minute. For sure, we're at the bottom of that daily fair value gap. But when we still have this bear structure, I'm still willing to hold this trade. Form that 1 minute bearish breaker. So maybe we'll at least get to that first standard deviation of that. Even if we don't make it down to these lows. If we could at least make it down to that first standard deviation. Cover our losses. Cover our losses and call it a day. But so much stalling and chop here. See if we can make one last little push down. We keep getting so close to that stop loss. Still chopping. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if we got stopped out at any moment here. Just because of how choppy we are right now. Very easily see us head back up. Hey, there we go, Shosky. That's awesome. And we get one more drop. One more drop. Let's just cover our losses here. Call it a day. That's all I'm asking, NQ. That's all I'm asking. Like I said, guys, you could also just take your full TP down here if you want. You don't have to hold. We're still above a 1-to-1. At this point, I'm going to hold it either until I hit my full TP or until we get stopped out. I'm probably looking to just take full TP either at this first standard deviation or down at this low. There we go. There we go. There's a drop. Yeah, 78 ticks there. Like at any point, any aggressive drop, you can look just to take. You can look just to sell. You do not have to hold. I'm just going to keep riding these shorts here. Another 1 minute displacement candle there. See if we can keep riding this trend down. Remember the next external liquidity level isn't down until 18,298. So we might be able to make one last push down there. We are getting closer and closer to London close though, which is when we start to typically see a reversal in the market. Right, which is why I don't want to hold it for too long, but I do want to see if we're at least going to come down to that first standard deviation. Well, I was able to hold through the chop because I already took my first TP. And I'm looking for this trade to try and cover my losses. And since it's a winning trade either way, I'm okay with holding it, even if it does go stop me out at break even. I'm okay with that, just for the potential that we could end up going down a little bit and ending the day around break even. And if that doesn't happen, like right now, we're seeing that pump back up. Yeah, I'm gonna get stopped at break even here. All right, so that's fine. I got stopped out there. I was able to make some of my losses back, which I'm happy with. At least get a small win today. It's good. I'm glad we were able to get somewhat of a win. Right, the closer we get to London close, the more likely we are to start reversing. But yeah, I mean, I'll take that win. I know we didn't make too much on that, but I'll take it. Watch us now drop to that full TP. Is everybody pretty much out? Is there anybody still holding? That next external liquidity level is at 18,298. That's that next level. I don't know how much we're going to keep dropping here. I mean, everything still looks extremely bearish. But again, we're getting closer to that London close. I wouldn't be surprised if we did start seeing a reversal, especially because we are at the bottom of that daily fair value gap here. Okay, but I'm still happy. Even though I'm going to be, probably ending the day red. We'll see if I take any more trades. I'm happy to end the day on a win if this is our last one. Um, yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'm out of the trade, obviously. Man, this weekend I am just chilling. I've done so much the past 2 weekends. I just need to rest. Just need to rest. Maybe go. I'll probably go down to the beach. Maybe I might go down to the beach today. Have a just relaxing day. Just kind of hang out this weekend. Not do too much. Spent a lot of money the past 2 weekends. I'm like, I should probably chill this weekend. We're still dropping here, guys. There's still potential we go for that liquidity level, but obviously this is very choppy price action. Do we have 2 birthdays this weekend? True. I took my pup to the park yesterday, and the first throw I threw him his tennis ball, and he hyperextended his leg into the grass. So we had to go home after that. Felt bad for the guy. He's getting kind of old. So he's gotta chill out this weekend. Me and him are gonna have a pretty relaxing weekend. Yeah, a lot of chop. I mean, I'm not looking to take any more trades right now, guys. But if you are still holding this one, there's still potential here. But remember, we are about to hit that 11:30 Eastern time. We're about to hit that London close. So just be aware of that. Be aware that we tend to reverse around this time. Not always, but it does happen. Well, happy birthday to you as well. So we got 2 birthdays this weekend, huh? Think we go for 285. We just might. We just might go for 285. Got this low down here. I mean, it's a possibility. It is a possibility. This has been an insane drop today. Yeah, I know. Can you imagine? Yeah, if we held that entry from yesterday, oh my gosh, it'd be insane. There we go. We're almost to that first standard deviation. Oh my gosh. So that's that TP level I was talking about. The next TP level would be these lows. So I don't know if anybody was still holding it. If you were, I would be looking. That was that first TP level I was talking about. Man, it's too bad we got stopped out there. What are you gonna do? Just be happy that again we still had good analysis. Still made some of our losses back, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. That's like pretty crazy. The drop has been insane the past 2 days. Oh yeah, we've blown through all of our higher time frame support levels. Like no problem, just right through them. I mean, look at the daily. Look at us blowing right through that daily imbalance. Look at us going right through that whole weekly imbalance. It's absurd. This is a pretty crazy move. That next weekly imbalance is all the way down here. Which if we reach that today, that would be crazy. Remember, if you were still holding that, that's that TP level I was talking about, that first standard deviation. Definitely would have, if I was still holding that trade, I would definitely have taken either my full position out there or my stop would be in profit very far, and then I'd be looking for my last TP probably down at this low. But yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily looking to take any more entries right now. What I'll probably do, if I'm gonna trade any more today, I don't know if I will. Have to be a very good setup for me to get another entry. Um, if I do, I'd probably wait till after lunch and see if price action is still good this afternoon. And I might look to take one more. We'll see. Again, not gonna revenge trade or anything. This week I'm down about 1,700, which for risk management purposes is very good for me. Typically, my winning weeks are. I'm typically winning around, making. And this isn't to. I don't want to say numbers to. I just want you guys to be able to understand kind of what I look like on a weekly basis. Typically, it's around anywhere fluctuating from 5 to 10 grand. Just depends on the week. On a good week, so being able to keep my losses down to 1,700 on the week on a tough week is completely okay with me. Not upset about that. Yeah, if we have good price action this afternoon, we could still hop on for a prop firm session. I'll check it out and I'll see what kind of if we're still moving good. I'm down to run one more session today. We still have good movement in the market. I'd be up for that. And this has been wild today. Later, AZ Sunshine. Hope you feel better. All right, guys. Well, I mean, at this point, I'm going to end the session. I'm not looking to take any more trades, but again, if we have good price action this afternoon, in a few hours, I'll run a prop firm session. I'd be down. So I'll let you guys know if we have something good and we could hop on for one more. If the price action is bad, then we won't. I won't run a session. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Um, thanks for joining up. Great learning lesson for me today. Hopefully it was good for you guys as well. Um, Again, this week the theme has been risk management. I haven't been able to dial in my entries. I've just been focusing on keeping my risk tight. And at the end of the day, the losses have not been very bad for me. So that's been my theme this week. That's been my positive that I've taken out from not being able to take the best trades. And hopefully you're able to take some positives out of this week too. But yeah, I appreciate everybody. I'll let you know about Prop Firm if you don't hear from me. I hope you have an amazing weekend. God bless all of you. Please stay safe. You guys are the best. I appreciate every one of you. And yeah, you might hear from me in a little bit. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.